One of the most popular goddesses with modern day pagans today, Brigid hails from Ireland and surrounding nations. We are fortunate to have written and archaeological information about her. Today, we will look at who she is and ways to honor her. Brigid is fundamentally a fire goddess, but not all fire is the same. She represents three forms of fire: the fire of the forge, which symbolizes craft and transformation, transforming raw ore into functional tools and weapons required specialized knowledge and was often treated as sacred work. Brigid's patronage of smithcraft connects her to the practical arts. Second, the household fire is sacred to Brigid, as is the home. At night, the women of the household would bank the fire so there would be hot embers in the morning, asking for the protection of Brigid as she worked. The third is the fire of inspiration, that flame within us, creative energy. An Irish tradition, poetry was not a casual art. It was a sacred craft wielded by the Fila, a class of professional poets who held significant social and spiritual power. Brigid, as patron of poetry, places her at the center of oral tradition, memory, and divine communication. Brigid presides over medicine and healing. Herbs are easy to grow, even in small spaces. This is one of my herb gardens on our back porch. Brigid is associated with the dandelion, her sacred herb fire symbol. I have a video on dandelion magic. Hi, I'm Amy. Incidentally, an organic gardener and environmental educator. As a lifelong pagan, I feel a deep connection to the land. Check out my posts on the homepage and vote to help me think about what type of content would be helpful. Feel free to leave a comment of your ideas. Brigid has connections to the fertility of the land, livestock, and new growth. Sacred wells associated with her worship are found across Ireland and the British Isles. Wells are liminal spaces, points of contact between the human world and the other world, making them natural sites for divine healing power. Many of Brigid's holy wells still exist, some sacred to her for thousands of years. Visit a well. Her waters are said to heal all manner of disease. If you have access to a natural spring or sacred well, visit it as a devotional act. Leave an appropriate offering, a coin or flower. We celebrate her during Imbolc, the first 2 days of February. In Ireland, this is early spring, a time when the earth springs back to life. Flowers grow, lambs are born. For me, early February is still very much a winter month, but I force some snowdrops and get out in the yard to celebrate. I enjoy celebrating her during Beltane because for me, that's more of a spring holiday. She fits right in, leading cattle to pasture and past the healing fires. Celebrate the fire and passion in your heart. Fire is protective, purifying, and life affirming. Making Brigid's cross is a great tradition. This four-armed equal cross, woven from rushes, predates the Christian one and is hung in the home for protection. I have instructions in the website article, which I'll link below. A cornhusk doll or effigy of Brigid was carried from house to house. I place one on my altar to represent her. Brigid is associated with thresholds and transitional space. Leaving offerings of food and drink at your threshold or front porch honors her. Pursue your craft. Brigid rewards dedicated skill. If you write, make things, heal, or create, doing that work intentionally and with commitment is itself a form of worship. Spring clean your home. Imbolc is a traditional time for cleaning out the old and preparing for the new, both literally and symbolically. Learn. Brigid patronizes wisdom and inspiration. Study Irish mythology, the history of her cult, the craft of poetry, or whatever area of skill that speaks to you. I've been trying to learn to say Irish and Welsh words correctly. It's hard. A member of the Tuatha De Danann, the divine race of Ireland, her name means exalted one. Her parents are the Dogda and the Morrigan, although sources vary on who her mother was. In Cormac's Glossary, a book compiled in the late 800s, first references Brigid as a triple goddess. It reads in more modern English: Brigid, a poetress, daughter of the Dogda. This is Brigid, the woman of poetry, a goddess whom poets worshipped because very great and very famous was her protecting care. Therefore, they call her goddess of poets. Her sisters were Brigid, the woman of healing, and Brigid, the woman of smithcraft. Goddesses among all the Irish, a goddess was called Brigid. I mentioned these at the beginning of the video. In practice, most modern pagans honor her as one goddess whose nature encompasses all three areas. But you do you. As in many traditions, the number 3 is important. Threefold beings and groupings appear throughout cultures and include the 3 realms of land, sea, and sky. 3 is understood as a number of completeness and power. Modern practitioners view the triple goddess, representative of the divine feminine, as 3 distinct archetypes: the maiden, the mother, and the crone. They represent the life cycle: birth, growth, death, or the phases of the moon: waxing, full, waning, and feminine empowerment. Have a feast to honor Brigid and light 3 candles, one for poetry, one for healing, one for craft, when you want to honor her in her fullness. Name each flame as you light it. The goddess Brigid was synchronized into Saint Brigid, the Christian saint of the same name. This was a common practice to assimilate the pagans into the Christian church. Her feast day and many of her symbols became part of Saint Brigid. Kildare Cathedral, built on the site of the original abbey, said to have been founded by Saint Brigid in the 5th century. One thing that captivates me is that Brigid is so well loved throughout the millennia. Today, pagan, Catholics, and Protestants all celebrate her. I feel honored and blessed that as she continues to listen to our prayers, chants, and songs, I'm glad the old ways survive through her, and she protects me, and that, knock on wood, I have the freedom to be a pagan. I hope you will watch whatever YouTube suggests for you next. Thanks for watching, and have a very witchy day.